Moving on. We have, of course, a celebrity who can't resist opening up their yap about Trump news. This time it's from an individual named Bruce Springsteen. So I better provide some background in case some of you are under 30 or so and haven't heard of him. But he's a singer who was once relevant in the 1970s and 80s. Well, Mr. Springsteen just shared some political wisdom he had about the president-elect with a podcaster named Mark Maron. And, well, good excuse to get a little bit of water here because I'm going to, in a second, put on my soulful, deep-thinking Bruce Springsteen voice now. By the way, Frank Caliendo and Rich Little, trust me, your jobs are safe. I'm going to do the best I can. Shout out to the late, great Danny Gans as well. But here is some of what Springsteen had to say. Whether it's a rise in hate crimes, people feeling they have license to speak and behave in ways that previously were considered un-American and are un-American, that's what he's appealing to. My fears are that those things find a place in ordinary civil society. What else? I've felt disgust before, but never the kind of fear that you feel now. Springsteen blabbed on. It's as simple as the fear of, is someone simply competent enough to do this particular job? Do they simply have the pure competence to be put in the position of such responsibility? Springsteen also called Trump a toxic narcissist back in October. Well, earlier today, we actually ran into reporter Joe Biggs. He was in the office here, so it wasn't a coincidence. You may have heard of him, and you should have heard of him by now. So I asked him what his opinion was of the political commentary offered by Springsteen, who, by the way, is 67 years old now. And here's what Joe Biggs had to say. Springsteen is trying to remain relevant to a younger crowd by playing the dump Trump thing because he knows how palatable that is to the leftist media. When was the last time he put out a relevant song? The age group he's pandering to has no idea who he is. He may want to focus on making music. We actually went ahead, we do our research here, and looked up Springsteen's discography on Wikipedia, and we learned that Springsteen has had exactly one song that since 1997 has cracked the top 60 singles according to Billboard magazine. And that actually was 2002, I guess 15 years ago, something called The Rising. I've heard it, but I couldn't even hum it for you. And by the way, it cracked the top 60, but that only made it all the way up the chart to number 52. By the way, one last thing on Springsteen. I happen to like this Facebook comment by Lori Boxer that I saw earlier. Hey, Bruce, I have an idea. You promise to shut the F up about Trump, and he'll promise not to sing. How about that? In the meantime, why don't you scare yourself up to Canada? By the way, I wouldn't mind hearing Trump singing at some point. But that's just me. Oh, one more, actually. I like this by Jason Marino. I did not think it was possible, but Bruce Springsteen's political insight is worse than his singing voice.